me a thumbs up. Alright, now do heart shape.
Hey guys, it's Andrew with OzBraz. Today we're doing the Porsche Macan full hood, one piece. We're going to show you a couple different options, but we're going to do one seam, and the seam is right underneath the headlight. But we're going to show you the way that we do it. We use that Oz release, so that overstretch zone release. There is a ton of tension on these hoods because you have to stretch the tar out of it to get all the fingers worked out. So we're going to actually show you what the film does when it's stretched and why we have that Oz release, so that overstretch zone release. So yeah, we'll get a piece of film, we'll get a sample, and then we'll install it with a bit of stretch on there, like simulating what that would, the amount of stretch we'd normally do for the hood. And then we'll wind up just showing, you know, why we release that tension and why it's so important. All right, so yeah, we just got just a piece right here before we do the hood. Show everyone like why we do it this way. Okay. Rather than just like hulking it, just put a piece on there, hulk it and stretch it, and then let it sit and cut it. Like, it's just not, it's not ideal. So on the hood, typically we'll get it across, we'll tack it on the door, and then we will stretch the living tar out of it to get it to where we need it to be. So is that alcohol?
No, that was soap.
Okay. So let's just accelerate the process. If you want to put alcohol there,
Yeah.
so we'll accelerate the process. Soap would work, it's just gonna take time for it to dry. So what I'll do is I'll just stretch it to where, like, that's probably about how much stretch we would use on it. And then Matt's gonna tack it. Probably come all the way. And this is soap, this probably won't stick right here. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Okay. So there's a ton of tension on here. First things first, like when we do these Macan hoods, the way we do it, and when we release that tension, we can actually trim it right away. I don't have a blade either. We'll see how good this one is. We can actually trim it right away, which allows us to wrap it right away, or, you know, go for something. So say we're doing it, we have this tension throughout, it's stretched, it's all squeegeed out, and we're like, okay, let's trim it. There would be a little bit of time for it to sit, you know, to where this would tack up and we don't have to worry about, you know, maybe it wanting to pull back as much. But let's just do that for the sake of the video. Educational purposes. I will trim, let's just say, and then I will grab this, pull this up. So we're like, oh, let's wrap this, right? No, like, no. Let's say for instance, the door was higher than the actual hood. So there's gonna be a gap. Well, that gap is gonna have tension through it. Once you cut that, it's gonna wanna finger up like this and try to release and shrink back to its normal position. That's not good. You can see towards the edge, now this is fresh, granted, but you can see, if you come here, hopefully you can see this on video, it's wanting to pull from the edge. Now, if the door is higher than that, there's gonna be an air gap. From a high area to a low area, there's gonna be a gap to where it actually touches the panel. And that might've been the case, no, maybe up here. Actually, it seems like this hood is actually just a little bit higher than the door, which is good. But every once in a while, we'll get one where it seems like the door is higher and then it creates that gap, that height variance, and it bridges, and then it just doesn't look good. So let's say, for instance, we do this and we let it sit for an hour before we trim it. I guess that's all right, but that edge is gonna be kind of messed up. Gonna have a little bit of tension release, like a little bit of shifting on that very edge. Or say worst case scenario, you have a dirt. So let's just pretend there's a dirt here and I have to go for it, or a hair, something really big. I'm gonna go and let's see, I'll have you get close so you can see. I'm gonna go lift up, and then I will squeegee that back down, and you will see how crazy that line is. Can you see that?
Yeah, you can.
Now you can actually, you can feel that line with your hand. That is not going away. That's not, that's gonna be there forever. It's in there. Now, sometimes, say you did it this way, and like say like you, regardless, you didn't like our video. Look,
Yeah, your wrap is all.
Our wrap is gone too now. Now that I had to go for that, it shrunk back, and that wrap is it shrunk back to the point where I lifted up, and the wrap's gone. So I would have to, if I did it that way, and I had to go for something, I would have to literally lift up to that spot and try to match that stretch, right? So I had stretch on there. Try to match that stretch, which I can't with my fingers, right? Because I can only grab in 2 spots. And squeegee it over. But that's still, again, that's a lot of stretch. This hood has a ton of stretch on it when we pull it down. Not as much to the way that we do it. It does have a decent amount of stretch. When we do it one piece 60 or even one piece 70, it doesn't change anything. You still have to stretch it that much. There's a lot more stretch than if we do like 60 with the seam. But I'll explain that. But yeah, so this is why we release that tension. This is why when we tack on the hood, before we tack this area, we're actually pushing the film, it's all soaped up, we're pushing the film over to release any sort of tension right here, soaping it up or alcoholing it up and then tacking it down. That way you can really trim right away, and if you did have to go for something, at least you have this range you can kind of play with to kind of go for stuff without having a gnarly line. So this one, we already clay barred it yesterday. We wiped it yesterday. However, we came in this morning, I don't know if stuff settled on it or whatnot, but we just gave it another clay bar again. Yesterday we also polished all the edges. We want it to bite, you know, we want it to be able to stick. There is still tension on it. Even though we release it, there's still tension everywhere else. We don't release it from the edges of the front or the back, middle or whatnot. So we want that to be able to bite down. But even then, we polish a good like 6 inches right here, so when we are stretching it back and we are squeegeeing, we know it's sticking to the actual paint and not maybe like a wax or a grease that may be on there, or even like a coating. So we make sure that it's pretty raw for that perfect bond. So we're gonna actually go and get the film. 72-inch film is what we usually use, even with the seam. We'll use 72-inch film, and we're gonna go spray it, get it started, and then we'll transfer it over to the hood, and then we'll kind of just walk through the process while we're doing it. Cleanliness is key. So if we need to wipe this thing 100 times, we will. So we aimed our fans away from each other, or away from ourselves. It's a little toasty in here, not gonna lie. Our AC is kind of getting some work done to it. So we kind of have to move a little quick, at least on the transfer, and then we can get the coolers on us again, and on the film too. We want to keep the moisture there. We don't want it to get hot and evaporate, especially on a large hood like this, and then it's just sticking everywhere. All right, let's soak it. We're gonna get a carpal tunnel. Is that what it is? Arthritis? What's the difference?
Carpal tunnel, I don't know.
Well, we're getting one of them because of all these bottles. People are like, oh, you should get kegs. Nah, we have kegs, we just don't, I don't know.
They get dirty.
They get dirty, I just don't like them. I got the wingspan of a California condor. Close up on that, it's slippery. It's like ice. All right, so now we reposition. We spray a little bit because it's gnarly. Spray a lot bit actually. And you can actually prematurely, not premature, right on time, lift that edge up so it's not getting wet. That corner, because that's what we use to tack.
So if the corner gets wet and you're fucked?
No, you just gotta just dry it off or dry the surface off it's gonna be sticking to. It's not the end of the world. But like if we can keep that dry, might as well, right? We're tacking it down there. How you doing, Matt? I'm like 1.5 inches over, but I'll have a lot once I cut the windshield.
1.5 inches over up here?
No, I'm like 2 inches over from the tip.
How far are you onto the fender?
2 inches.
I have like 5. You want some?
I don't need it, but yeah, that's good. I got like 3. So this is where it gets a little scary. So now we can aim the air back onto us, I think. This is where it gets a little scary. There's a big stretch on this. So if I was to cut 3 inches or so right here all the way through, probably not a good idea. That will probably get stretched down to where there's no wrap. So what we usually do is we'll be safe. I need a new blade. I keep saying that. We'll be safe and do like 6 inches. And then kind of come up around there. Now, this A-pillar causes a bit of headache for us. So we have to kind of figure out a way to trim around it. So it's not pulling this up, because right, I can't get this A-pillar's in the way, especially if Matt's tacking across. So we'll figure out something once we get it kind of laid down and stretched across. I might relief that a little bit. And when I'm cutting reliefs, I'm not just doing a straight line, because that'll tear. You have to round it out so it has nowhere to go. That relief, or that cut has nowhere to go. If you just do a straight line down and then you stretch, it's gonna wanna continue where that cut was. Now
Are you tagging first?
I'm just soaping up. So again, it is warm in here, so we're making sure it's all lubed up. And then we usually grab this. And I'll usually cut off like a good section of it. At least I'll start it and then I'll tear the rest. And I'll probably give that to Matt. I haven't done anything over here, Matt.
I already have one over here.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
So then, you already tacked yours?
No, you can go ahead and start.
So what I'll do is I'll just get it to where I think it needs to be. So let's just say around there. Load that with alcohol just for the meantime. Tack it. And we don't tack anything to the actual hood until we're ready, until we're stretching. Go ahead, Matt. You can go more. It's just loose. Nope, don't go more. Don't go more. It's not loose. It is still loose, actually. It is indeed loose.
Make sure it's tight. I mean tacked.
Okay. Now we're not pulling a bunch. He's not really pulling hard over. It's more like a maybe twist that way. Oh, I might have to reposition mine. So I'll have him go, and then I'll reposition mine. Because you see, no. Living life on the edge. The rags are like 35 cents a piece. So I'm gonna reposition mine. So you can see that obviously it's kind of tensioned across, which is good. But I want to also, I don't want it, it was up like this. There was too much excess material. So I'll just load this with alcohol, give it a slight pull. I'll tack right here and then I'll reposition this. Again, this is kind of temporary. This really isn't holding anything for the stretch this way. That kind of comes from here. Like we can have this like nothing really right here. But that's where this kind of comes in play. So again, still want to make sure this is always like lubed up. It's not grabbing on anywhere. And then what we'll do is we'll kind of stretch this, get this tacked. I don't like coming closer to this edge. So most people think, oh, I want to tack it to the door. That's great, and that's what you want to do. But I don't want to come to the edge. If I force it closer to the hood edge, it's going to actually be lower than the actual hood in this case, because I could feel it. The door is lower than the hood. Then what's going to happen is I'm going to pull this, and it's going to, because it's tacked so close to that, it's going to pull it and it's going to rub that edge along there as I'm stretching, and then it can kind of distort or damage the adhesive. So I kind of keep away from that. But like you're like, oh well, that's not enough film. You need it to tack onto the door, and that's why we have an extra hand.
Extra mano.
Extra what? Mano?
Mano.
Extra mano. So, and that's where we'll like dry apply this, kind of overlap, and then I can kind of come back through. So here's where I do want to relieve it a little bit. So I know that it's not going to pull down so far, I don't think, to where it's going to, if I trim this back, it's going to show on the face. So, because it's more of a linear pull this way, right here. So what I'll probably do is wind up coming around and then I'll bring this straight up. So there's nothing that's gonna tear from that. So, and then what I'll do from there, so there's a lot of tension. Now it's not getting held up by this A-pillar. So it wants to kind of relax. So now I'll load this area with soap. Again, I don't want it to tack. I'm wanting it to, it's being held by this piece, by the hood section, and then this extra hand. So we chose 72.
Did you spray back here?
I did not really. I did, but I didn't. So we'll just make sure that the face is sprayed too. This is the one hood where I'd probably take all of our soap. I probably should get another soap bottle before I even continue. But we choose 72 on this hood. You can do 60, and we used to do 60 and just stretch the tar out of it. It clears. With 60, it takes, the amount of stretch it needs is the amount of length it needs. So when you stretch it that much, it stretches it into place to where you have the right amount. So it's like literally perfect for size doing it one piece. You're wasting film if you do like a 72 and you try to do it one piece because you're still stretching that same amount. Saying that, you're stretching it a lot and you're compromising a little bit of that thickness. You're kind of taking that and stretching it throughout, which in turn is like, to me, it's like a stretch rubber band, you know? So I don't think it's doing as much protection as it would if it was to naturally kind of lay down. Are you good, Matt, on yours? Yeah.
Are we doing outside first?
What's that?
We have to stretch it in 2 sections.
Yeah, we do stretch it in 2 sections.
Outside first?
Yeah, well, so yeah, we're gonna, because we seam it right here, we will actually just lightly stretch the front of this. And again, we're tacking to the bumper and not to the actual panel yet. So if I look at this, I can kind of, this is in a way temporary too. This isn't my final stretch. And honestly, it's probably not enough alcohol. So if I were to tack it, I'll probably fix that again. But then that gives me, Matt and I, a chance to figure out what we're doing for this. So this is where it's tricky because it's a Macan. There's not painted sections. I think this is an option to have it painted, or we've seen it before painted. So now we have really nothing to stretch to and tack to, which kind of stings.
The only thing is the fog light.
We can tack the fog light, which is basically the underside of the fog light. So, and that's what we'll probably try to do, is we'll probably stretch outward to get this finger out and tack to the fog light. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do a dry mat because it's just flowing into it. So I might have to do it wet. Or I could probably, yeah, let's just try it wet. We're not stretching a lot. We're just getting out the material out of the middle. So, I mean, that seems pretty good to me. There's a little bit of fingers there, but it's nothing that we can't fight. And then I'm gonna try to tack at the bottom of this fog light. Good thing is it's pretty big. I loaded it with alcohol. Like the fog light under here, it goes in a few inches. So I'm gonna try to tack it there, hold it there. See, make sure everything's still loose. We don't want it grabbing to any ridges. Okay, so that's good. That's still loose. It's not grabbing to anything that I can feel. Now I'm gonna reposition this right here. You can see there's a finger here and there's fingers here. So I'll probably pull more of an angle down to get this to tighten up and to kind of remove these. This isn't the end of the world because again, we're gonna stretch back to release that tension, and that will actually pull a bit of those fingers out. There's more of this one.
Matt, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm still just trying to get my fog light to tack. Did you mention why we have fingers right here on the front?
Well, that's why we're gonna seam it, yeah.
Let's talk about it, Matt.
Yeah, so the reason why we're adding so much finger right here is because we're gonna actually add a seam right here in the front. Usually where it kind of curves around and starts straightening out, we kind of put the seam about right here. It makes it so that we're not overstretching the film, just like he said earlier with 60. We just want to make sure that it has the thickness that they're basically paying for, I'd say, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, you're not compromising that film in any way. You're not stretching it to where it thins out. Now, how much are you losing if you're actually stretching it? I don't know. But I know you're losing a little bit. You're thinning it out. You know that we're stretching it inches. If you're doing it one piece, you're stretching it like 4 inches. I want to say it's like a 64-inch hood, if I want to say that. And we're stretching it basically 4 or 5 inches to get excess over. So you're thinning it out by how much I don't know. So what we'll do is, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Matt will probably pull down right here a little bit when we tack, just to get this little finger out. But we'll see. I'm gonna get some more soap. But let's shove and blast a lot of soap underneath this so it's loose, Matt.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing up here. It's kind of stuck at the top of my light.
So yeah, we want to make sure it's not stuck anywhere. So I'm gonna exhaust all the liquid I can right now. I'm getting a new bottle. I'm just gonna fill it up real quick. So might as well use that liquid to make sure that it's loose. There's no high spot that's grabbing. It's not grabbing on the high point of this ridge. Again, it's not squeegee down. The adhesive is like pressure sensitive. So the moment I squeegee it down, yeah, it's gonna wanna bite. And that's why we're letting it float. We call this floating. It's just right above everything, not tacked to anything. Be right back. Film that, film that.
Matt, talk to us.
Right now, my ridge is actually stuck, so I have to spray soap where I can. And then once I'm done, obviously, I don't want to just stick to my side, so I'm going to go over to Andrew's side again and just double check and make sure that his stuff is not stuck as well. It's a lot of back and forth when you're doing it by yourself. Yeah, his is all good.
Good?
Yeah, yours is all good.
Okay.
Now we are going to do that Oz release that we were talking about.
Kind of stuck right there.
Here.
There we go. Now it's free. Yeah, so it's not stuck anywhere on this hood that I can tell. Maybe a little right here, but it's not the end of the world. Yeah, so now we're good. So this is all soap. Everything is soap. The only alcohol is right here on the door. That's it. Oh, and then maybe on the fog light. So now what we'll do is Matt's gonna load that with alcohol underneath the hood or underneath the film on that front edge of the hood, back edge of the hood. I don't know what it is. And no, above the fender. So the idea is he's gonna pull this up to let it feed. I'm getting rid of that tension by pushing back. I'm pushing back, you know.
Yeah, you can see there's a finger building up right here.
Yeah, so I'm pushing back. Not like hulking it forward or backwards. I'm just pushing it back. And Matt can actually, and what he'll probably do is lift up the whole thing. I'm holding this. So he'll like free that whole space. And I'm wiggling my hands a little because I don't want the pressure in my hands to kind of cause it to tack. So, and then he'll...
Why is he going this way instead of that way?
You want to push that tension away. Like if he was to squeegee towards that end, I think really he's maybe forcing a little bit too much material in that way. I don't know, it's just really personal preference. I think it's good because he can come out to my hands as I start releasing, rather than if he's coming from my hands, there's tension right where my hands are. As he's coming towards my hands, I can start releasing and removing that tension, and the film will kind of, he'll just follow. So this is where it gets a little, gotta kind of start moving a little quicker. So I'll just tack. So if this has a little bit of, I would say tension, slight bit. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna tack to this fender right here, so that way it's not wanting to pull that. And we'll usually come up to a certain distance before we jump to the other side. So, and there's what we call chicken skin, and that's basically where it's like kind of moving and shifting. So I'm shoving moisture back into that area. So this should be pretty good to jump into our side real quick, or my side. So again, we're moving pretty quick. Again, let's double check this, make sure that nothing's tacked. Seems good. So same thing. So I'll dry this area. I'll dry my hands. That way it's lizard hand, really sticky hands. And then I don't need a squeegee. And I'm pushing this back.
This is soap because I just want to make sure it's not stuck.
Yeah. You could probably allow for that twist too, without pulling that top down too much. Yeah.
Okay. I see it.
Because we can feed some into the middle too, Matt. There's no it's tight up top. So I'm just giving him excess, releasing that tension. And he's.
You guys did a blue one of these, right?
Yeah. The Miami blue, I want to say.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So that pullback got rid of the fingers right here, which is exactly what we wanted. And then Matt just when there's sometimes too much film, too much excess film causes issues. So he's just trimming it off, so it's not wanting to be like bridged right in that area. If it's coming up to a high point on that A-pillar and is not settling down on the hood, that's just going to leave a line. So he's just trimming it right now. We're not really going to play with that anymore. So he's good to kind of almost a final trim on the top, and that way it's all relaxed right now. And then this is where he'll go back to his end. I'll stay on mine. I'll actually probably, honestly, still shove some more water down the way, making sure that it's not biting on anything. Okay. And again, this is held right here, and it's not held by a lot. So, what we'll do is, I guess there's two ways to do this. There's two. You can either do this section first or this section. Matt, which section do we do first?
We usually do the back section first. Actually, no.
I think we get everything.
Yeah, we're kind of squeegeeing down to the front right here.
Yeah.
And then we get this cut, and then we work this all out.
Yeah. So what I'll do sometimes, just to make it easier so I can flood alcohol in there, is I will cut this open. Again, there's no tension really right there. Now, what I was saying is I don't want to just end that cut right there, because that's where it's a big no-no and it'll just tear if I have to add any stretch, so then I'll swoop it around. Now, I'm not cutting this yet because I don't know, we haven't decided where we want to put this one, this cut. Usually we'll do it like towards the outside. Thinnest part is probably right here, but I'd like it a little bit more on the outside of that so it's not as visible, and we'll just match it on each side. So I cut that so I can have access to this. This is not that tension. So it might seem like it, but it's really not. I'm loading that with alcohol. And so load that with alcohol. I'm gonna attack this first. I'm kind of releasing it. I'm kind of pushing towards it, and I'll come to about right there, a couple inches past that round. Okay. And then I'll just get everything in between out. So I'll come a little more forward on this section, making sure there's no chicken skin. Again, it's tacked. It's really tacked right here now. So I'm kind of working out from there. Got to my ridges. I'm getting over this last ridge.
Why do you have to move fast on this versus another guy?
It's kind of sucked down around it. You do still want to have some speed. You don't want the film, the moisture to dry out and evaporate out. Now this is where a situation where we're working in a little bit of heat, a bit of heat. So we do want to move quicker so it's not evaporating out.
I mean, it's ice cold in here.
Oh yeah, is it? I'm freezing.
Yeah, bro. It's so cold in here. Can I put put Johnny in the YouTube video too?
You could put Johnny in the YouTube video. Okay.
Not 80.
You're mad at him, huh?
He's mad at me and I'm mad at him right now. We're kind of fighting.
I like just progressing and pushing forward a little bit more with this at a time so it's fresh. If I leave that too long, it might kind of create a line where it's really tacked and not. So every once in a while, I'll kind of come and just give it a little bit, maybe an inch more progression.
Just like, you're not like just...
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I want this. I have to reposition this. We're trying to figure out where we want the seam. I like the seam more on the outside. Matt wants it more in the middle because it's technically thinner right there. I just think if I'm looking at the front of the car, you know, I'd rather see it, to me personally, outside a little bit more. But we have to match. We have to be on the same page for that. So he can't be outside, I can't be inside. We got to figure it out before we go too far. And we got to figure out quick. So let's see where we're at. The last one I know we did like further out here because I remember lining it up with the fog light, like right up there. He's not around, so maybe I can make the call. But shoot, I need a blade.
Way to play in pause, bud?
No, keep it going. This is like a tire change in NASCAR. We're quick. Matt added more soap. I'm getting a new blade. Pit stop, pit stop. Oh, whose hat is this? Are we monetized?
Not yet.
Are we closed?
Yeah.
No.
No, we're not.
So then, new blade. It's my rules. Okay, Matt, let's go. We're going wide.
Come on, Matt.
Okay.
Go wide.
Oh, you want me to make the cut and then you match it?
Yeah, I'm gonna get this down while I wait.
Matt, make the cut.
No, I'll make the cut.
Oh, you're gonna match it.
I didn't make the cut.
So I'm just gonna actually, what I'm doing, there's no tension right here at all. The cool thing is we can always, when we make our cut, if it's not like a perfect butt seam, we can actually go back and like really make it a butt seam. Like position it where it needs to be.
So you're gonna cut right here and then
I'll bring this side over.
Oh.
Remember, again, coming over a little bit more now. Just a little bit, gives me some time.
That's true. Yeah, you did say that.
Did, little by little. Hey, where's our blue tape? Matt, do you have it?
I might have some, or do I have yellow tape?
Oh, you have it, you have it. So, hey, watch out, I think you're in your light. Okay. So what I will do,
Why using blue tape?
just so we can get a good straight line. So we can make sure that we're on the same page. I'll get my line marked out. I'll cut mine, and then so I'm kind of going with this peak right here, the fog light, and we'll measure it out, and we'll probably be like, oh, we're 3 inches from this corner, and make sure we're on the same page. Straight. Filming. We're filming. No. Is this your car? No. One day. So yeah, we're basically making sure that line is straight. There's a pole in my face, so I can't really see. Looks straight to me. No, it doesn't. The bottom curves of hair. Again, we still have to be kind of working at some speed.
Why isn't Matt using blue tape?
He will.
Did the fucking people accept your collab on that thing? Yeah, on the hook. They got more views than already. Really?
So then I will. You watching?
I'm watching.
You're watching?
I'm on you at all times.
Jeez. And then I will trim the blue line. And then I'll peel this.
going back now. You made the cut.
There's no going back, Matt.
Matt, there's no going back. You made the cut.
So I have like everything down.
So I am basically, Matt can kind of judge where we are. He has his squeegee. He could probably measure from there, or get a tape measure. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Right there. Accuracy.
This is how I measure.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay, and then it's kind of more on Matt on that second one. Like I make the first mark where I think I want it and I cut it, but Matt's got to match it. Like I know we kind of joke around as far as, oh, that's good enough, but like no, we'll take a more considerate look at it once it's on the.
I'm gonna do a double check.
Matt's gonna do a double check.
Double
good.
check.
Love my vlog. What happened? I thought you were gonna
Beautiful.
Leave that in. Dang.
Yeah, the battery. Te debo un besito. Nalgas. Oye, bro. Si no, no. Si no, no. Andrew, you're fine over here. Talk to me, bro.
I'm just. All right, sorry. So I'm flooding this with alcohol. I want it to stick now. So I'm pushing this forward now all the way. Now because I still flooded it with alcohol, I got to be cautious because this was soap. And I'm now squeegeeing that soap into the alcohol. So I have to realize that, like, okay, maybe it's not all alcohol right now. So still take that in consideration when I'm squeegeeing, that I'm not just squeegeeing out all that soap to flush out the alcohol. You kind of can feel it as you like squeegee it, and then maybe you're kind of moving around. Like I could tell that's actually got a decent bite. And then what I'll do is I will come around to here.
There's no way that you could do this hood without making seam.
You can. You're just stretching it so dang much.
So it's safer to have the seam there versus...
I think so. You're not like, yeah. Plus, like when you're stretching it that much, it's like,
yeah,
going for anything is almost impossible. Like you can't go for a dirt that's up there when you're stretching it that much. In this instance, like if there was a dirt right here, I could go up from the underneath it and not have any issue. If you were to try to do that with a 60-inch or 72 stretch that far, you're asking for a little bit of trouble. So this is just the way we do it. And it's not, we'll leave it up to the customer too. If they're like, I want no seams, absolutely, we'll do it no seams. A little bit of a price increase, but we'll absolutely do it. So it's not up to us. If it was me though, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care about a small little seam in the front. But we leave it up to the customer. Maybe we'll do a video, you know, one of these days where we do one with no seam. Yeah, I could take a nap after this cut.
there's no going back. You cut it.
Well, there is.
Oh.
There is going back. Because what I can do,
You can stretch it.
I was gonna put this in my mouth. No, you don't stretch it. So like, I know that this is relaxed. Well, maybe not so much this outside piece, but I know this inside piece right here is relaxed. There's no tension on this. So what I can do is I can lift up to here, and there's not gonna be a lift line.
You're just trying to butt them against each other.
Yeah, and now I can kind of like, the tighter it is, the more invisible. Oh, there's a little dirt right there.
You mean the least visible?
Is that what I said?
Yeah, you said the tighter it is, the more
the tighter it is, the least visible it is.
visible. You want it tight.
You want it super tight.
You can see that kind of stuff.
You can.
You want it tight.
I
just work here.
No. Okay, so here's a little bit of live issue. I got some sort of grease on there. So we're gonna try to fix this with just rubbing it and trying to get whatever that is out.
Like grease.
Grease, I don't know if it's grease, it's just a smear or a smudge of some sort. So if I can get this out without lifting it up, great. Worst case scenario, if I can't get it up, I'll just shift this whole section from here over, just up a little and then retrim it. It's not the end of the world, but I think I got it. So we can get it somewhat tight. You can't really see it that much. It gets pretty dang tight.
Yeah, you can't even tell. At least not on camera.
I mean, even from right here, I can't see it. I mean, if I'm looking for it, it might be too close right there. No.
Oh, you see those over here?
And that's because there's no tension on here. Really, there's none right here too. So I can lift this up and shove this a little closer. If my cut isn't perfect, I can butt it up as tight as I can, as tight as it wants it to be, or I want it to be, and call it a day. It's a little bit, no, it's good. It's good, it's good.
It's good.
It is good. And then,
How you doing over here?
Good.
so now, you watching me? I'm talking to the audience. I'm talking to the audience, not you.
Yeah, wake up, wake up.
Wake up, it's busy. We're busy, we're busy. Focus, focus.
Walk in.
Okay, so oh, what the heck?
Come on, are you locked in?
Did that fall out of my pouch or through the hole? I got a little hole here. I don't know.
Oh no, instant replay.
Instant replay. Where'd it come from? Yeah, find out where it went.
Okay, so now here what?
I'm just flushing this out, flushing all the soap off the edge. So that way it's just alcohol. I'll get it over this face that we see. And it can kind of stay there. So wherever you see it, I want to make sure it's down. So I don't have to really worry about the wrap this second, but I'll get it to that edge, maybe just a hair over the round. And this piece is kind of tricky. So this is why we polish this, yeah, because it's not much to wrap on the underside. There's like barely anything, so you have to feed it into there. And then you wrap it basically to hold it. If that makes any sense. So if I were to let go, it'd come back up. But if I wrap it, so I wrapped it, I'm just holding it, making sure it bites. Now I can kind of leave that. Oh no, I can't.
Hold it back
It's
up.
coming up.
Came back up.
So let's try it again.
If not, I'm over with it, man.
If not, cut.
No, if not, I'm not cutting. I'm just gonna go over the mat because he knows what he's doing.
Matt, you know what you're doing?
Huh?
Matt, you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
I just work here.
That is work here.
Yeah, it's at least over the round.
It is. It has a little back there.
Now, yeah. So there's no tension, no distortion right here. Looks nice. No dirt that I can see. Yeah, so it looks pretty good. So I should be able to cut it right away. And the cool thing about this car is it like butts up against the actual door. Well, that too. And because of that, I can actually, without lifting up the hood, I can wrap that right away. So, cut this. And always pull away when you trim. You just pull straight up, it can tear into the area that's tacked. And that would be the last, imagine that. Imagine I'm pulling that, it just, because I don't cut deep enough, it just comes up under the hood. It'd be like a redo. Full instant redo.
Whole hood?
Hundreds of bucks just down the drain, yeah. Yep. So I'm just kind of flooding that out. Give it a final squeeze right there. And then I'm gonna cut the gap. So I'll usually like find a good gap that I like, 1/4 inch or so. And kind of follow that. And I'll push through right there. And then it follows the score line. Oh, see, that's why you pull away, you see? You see? Because if I was pulling straight up, it would have gone into there. Yeah, I know.
And look at the YouTube video?
Yeah, go ahead. And then oh, sheesh. Whoa.
No, bro. I got too close to him.
Alright, so.
Keep it G. How family friendly?
Yeah, it's crazy. It was cut deep enough. It just, yeah.
Just did
its own thing. So now I can open that. If you open the door before you trim it, game over.
Why?
Because it's stuck to the door and it like pulls it and it ruins and just chops up the edge a little bit. Yeah. So I've lifted this up. You can see, yes, it's had some time to tack, but it's not wanting to like wrinkle up right here. So now I'm just gonna flood this with alcohol. I call this fresh alcohol. There's something about just straight out of a bottle, it being able to tack, and I'm rubbing the backside, make sure again there's nothing, no contaminants, no wax, no grease, even though we've already gone for that, and I should be able to wrap it right away. That fresh alcohol, like I call it. Sometimes allows just for like instant wrap.
100% fresh?
Not 100% alcohol, but 100% fresh.
100% fresh.
Well, it's like 20% alcohol.
100%, 99.9% alcohol.
100%, 99%, 99% alcohol.
100% fresh.
Shoot, I don't even know the percentages that we run. That's actually good. I think we do 8 ounces, 8 ounces of 99% alcohol, 6 ounces of 99% alcohol, fill it to the top. So I think it's 32 ounces. So
Fill it to the top with water?
yeah,
So water and alcohol.
water and alcohol. It's
I fill
diluted,
mine
yeah.
with milk.
Huh? So yours is with milk?
Yeah.
Yeah. All I have left to do is just wrap the edges and then wipe it down, and we're all done. We're all done with the hood. We wrapped everywhere we could. We have the seams on the front here. All we need to do is rebadge it, wipe it down, and then this car is ready to go.